Hello everyone. Today, let's explore together how to rediscover purpose when life feels empty and meaningless. If you're feeling like you're just going through the motions without any real sense of direction, you're not alone. Recent groundbreaking neuroscience research has revealed fascinating insights about how our brains process purpose and meaning, and more importantly, how we can reactivate these circuits even when everything feels flat and uninspiring. Let me start by sharing some remarkable scientific findings from the latest research. A comprehensive 2025 study using advanced brain imaging technology examined individuals experiencing what scientists call motivational anhedonia, essentially, the loss of drive and purpose. The researchers discovered something extraordinary. Specific brain regions, particularly the ventral striatum and prefrontal cortex areas, showed reduced activity in people struggling with purposelessness. But here's the hopeful part. These same studies demonstrated that these brain circuits aren't permanently damaged. They're simply dormant and can be reactivated through targeted interventions. A major research institution conducted a meta-analysis in 2024 examining the relationship between purpose in life and overall well-being. They found that having a sense of purpose doesn't just make us feel better emotionally. It actually serves as a powerful predictor of longevity and protects against various mental health challenges. The research showed measurable changes in brain white matter integrity, particularly in regions that connect our emotional centers with our executive control areas. This means that finding purpose literally strengthens the communication highways in our brain. Perhaps most encouraging is research from self-determination theory, which has identified 3 fundamental psychological needs that directly influence our sense of purpose: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Multiple studies have shown that when these needs are met, intrinsic motivation increases dramatically, in some cases by over 70%. This isn't just about feeling better. Brain scans show actual structural changes in motivation-related brain regions after just 4 to 6 weeks of consistent practice targeting these areas. Now, let's explore practical, science-based methods you can start using today to reignite your sense of purpose. These aren't just feel-good suggestions, they're techniques that have been validated through rigorous research and shown to create measurable changes in brain function. The first method is what researchers call the morning purpose priming protocol. This involves spending just 5 minutes each morning, immediately after waking and before checking any devices, visualizing yourself 1 year from now living with clear purpose. Close your eyes and create a detailed mental picture. What are you doing? How do you feel? Who are you helping or impacting? Brain imaging studies show this simple practice activates the precuneus, a crucial brain region for self-referential processing and future planning. The key is to make this visualization as vivid and detailed as possible, engaging multiple senses. Research participants who practiced this consistently for 2 weeks showed increased activity in brain regions associated with goal-directed behavior and motivation. The second approach focuses on rebuilding autonomy through what I call the micro-choice method. Throughout your day, consciously identify and make 3 to 5 small autonomous decisions. These can be incredibly simple: choosing which route to walk, deciding what to eat for lunch, or selecting which task to tackle first. Each time you make a conscious, autonomous choice, you're strengthening neural circuits associated with self-determination. A research team found that people who practiced making deliberate micro-choices showed increased activity in brain regions linked to intrinsic motivation after just 10 days. The compound effect of these small decisions builds over time, gradually restoring your sense of agency and control. The third technique is competence stacking, which involves selecting one small skill to develop for just 10 minutes daily. This could be learning 3 new words in a foreign language, practicing a musical scale, sketching a simple drawing, or even perfecting a new recipe. The specific skill doesn't matter as much as the consistent practice. Brain scans reveal that this regular skill building activates reward circuits and increases dopamine release, which is crucial for motivation. One fascinating study showed that participants who engaged in daily micro-learning for 2 weeks experienced significant improvements in their overall sense of purpose and life satisfaction, with brain imaging showing increased connectivity between learning and reward centers. The fourth method, relational purpose mapping, taps into our fundamental need for connection. Once weekly, spend 15 minutes writing about how your actions, no matter how small, positively impact others. This could be how your work helps colleagues, how your presence affects family members, or even how your smile might brighten a stranger's day. Research shows this practice strengthens connections between social brain networks and reward systems. A study involving over 500 participants found that those who regularly engaged in relational reflection showed increased activity in brain regions associated with empathy and purpose, with many reporting a renewed sense of meaning within just 3 weeks. The fifth technique is the evening reflection protocol. Before sleep, identify 3 moments from your day where you felt even slightly engaged, interested, or alive. Write these down, regardless of how trivial they might seem. Maybe you enjoyed the taste of your morning coffee, felt satisfied after completing a small task, or appreciated a moment of sunshine. This practice trains your brain's attention networks to notice and amplify meaningful experiences. Neuroscience research shows that this deliberate attention to positive experiences can gradually reverse anhedonic patterns by strengthening connections in the brain's reward processing regions. Finally, there's the weekly values alignment check. Every Sunday, spend 20 minutes reviewing your past week and rating your activities from 1 to 10 based on how well they align with your core values. Then, gradually increase time spent on higher-rated activities while reducing time on lower-rated ones. This systematic approach helps restructure your daily life around intrinsic motivators rather than external obligations. Research participants who used this method for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in life satisfaction scores and demonstrated increased activation in brain regions associated with authentic self-expression and intrinsic motivation. It's important to understand that these methods work by literally rewiring your brain. The concept of neuroplasticity tells us that our brains can form new neural pathways throughout our lives. When you consistently practice these techniques, you're not just thinking differently, you're creating physical changes in your brain structure that support a renewed sense of purpose. Virtual reality studies have provided additional validation for these approaches. Researchers found that participants who engaged in purpose-focused interventions, even in virtual environments, showed significant improvements in positive affect and goal-directed behavior after just 8 sessions. This demonstrates that our brains are remarkably responsive to purposeful engagement, regardless of the medium. To summarize what we discussed today, first, morning visualization exercises activate purpose planning circuits in your brain, particularly the precuneus region. Second, making conscious micro-choices throughout your day rebuilds autonomy and strengthens self-determination pathways. Third, daily skill development for just 10 minutes reactivates dormant reward pathways and increases dopamine production. Fourth, connecting your actions to their impact on others strengthens the vital link between social networks and meaning-making regions. Fifth, evening reflection practices rewire attention networks to notice and amplify purposeful moments. And finally, weekly values alignment helps you systematically restructure your life around what truly matters to you. The feeling of purposelessness you're experiencing isn't a character flaw or a permanent condition, it's a reversible brain state that responds remarkably well to targeted interventions. Your brain hasn't lost the ability to experience purpose, it's simply waiting for the right stimulation to reactivate those circuits. The methods I've shared today aren't just theories, they're evidence-based practices that have helped thousands of people rediscover meaning in their lives. Remember, you don't need to implement all these techniques at once. Start with just one that resonates with you. Perhaps begin with the morning visualization or the evening reflection. Give yourself permission to start small. Even tiny steps forward are meaningful progress when it comes to rewiring your brain for purpose. Recovery of purpose doesn't happen overnight, but research consistently shows that most people begin experiencing subtle shifts within the first 2 weeks of practice. By week 4, many report noticeable improvements in motivation and engagement. By week 8, brain scans typically show measurable changes in neural connectivity and activation patterns. If today's discussion provided any support or hope, please hit the like button. Your engagement helps this content reach others who might be struggling with similar challenges. If you'd like to continue learning about evidence-based mental health strategies together, please subscribe to the channel. May your hearts feel a little lighter, and may you take that first small step toward rediscovering your purpose today. Thank you so much for listening until the end. Remember, your brain is capable of remarkable change, and purpose can return to your life. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.